welcome back. I finally have some wood being delivered today. It's not the first guy. I've been trying to get it for all 4 months now. It's already cut up. I have 12 cord coming that's not cut up, which is fine. It's kind of funny because I contacted this guy, I don't know, 2 weeks ago maybe, and then I couldn't find his ad on Facebook on Marketplace. So I thought he deleted it because it's the same guy that I got some from before. So then I contacted another guy that I got that first load of birch from, and he says, "Yep, I'll get you some by the end of the week." Probably, which was the end of last week. I called him like the beginning of the week, so I know that he's going to deliver eventually. And then I get a message last night of the first guy, or the first guy that I called about bringing it out uncut, and he said, "How about tomorrow?" And it was like, oh no. And it wasn't that he was on Facebook. I had texted him. He was in my contacts. That's why I couldn't find it. So anyway, I know that I have 24 cord of wood coming within the next, today's 12 cord, and probably within the next week another 12 cord. I could have 36 cord out here in the next couple of weeks, I don't know, but at least I'm not going to be short any wood. I started this up just to run it today. It was a little chilly in here and I didn't want to turn up the heat in there. I just got that wood, the last of my split wood right there, picked up, brought over here, because when he brings the truck in, I'm hoping he can dump 6 cord behind the woodshed and 6 cord over here. If he doesn't want to do that, like if it's one big load instead of the truck and the trailer, then I might have him just dump the whole 12 cord behind the woodshed over there and I'll deal with it. It's chilly today. It's 18 degrees, but with that wind chill, it's something like 2 below. The wind is supposed to die down by this afternoon though. I was up at the tent with Zachary yesterday, and when I come home I have 2 hamburgers and, I don't know, 3 or 4 brats that didn't get cooked up there, so I want to cook them up so they don't get wasted. I got all that stuff unloaded. That guy messaged me with the wood and he was leaving, so I think he'll probably be here within about a half hour. I was gonna stack it all in here, but I thought, you know what, eventually it's gonna go inside the workshop, some of this, so might as well suck it up and get it in there right now. put it in this folder. Well, we got all that wood delivered. I didn't fill up the stove this morning. This went on a 24-hour burn, so we're pretty good because it's only 15 degrees outside right now. It was windy today, and wind seems to be your enemy if, you know, when it's cold, because the wind hits against your house and pulls the heat out. She's doing pretty good. Pretty good pile of wood. I kind of like that it's smaller rounds, so hardly any of this will have to be split. I have oak, ash, maple. I don't see any birch. Everybody, today my travels are taking me on a 320-mile round trip. Well, I am about 40 miles from home, I suppose. I'm stopping here at the Lazy Bear. I'm gonna get me a hamburger and some fries, and then we'll get home and I'll show you what I picked up for Melissa. Well, there it is. We'll take a better look at it tonight when Melissa gets home. We can get this thing out of there. It is very heavy. And there's my stack of wood. Looks like it's mostly maple. Get a better look when I start cutting it up. I like how it's the smaller rounds though. It's gonna be easier to handle. There's some big stuff in there, but yep, start cutting on this pretty soon. Yeah, mostly maple. I do see a little bit of ash in there. No birch. I don't see any oak in this batch either. But it's pretty nice sized. Well, this is what I drove 360 miles round trip to pick up today. This is called a Mangle, which was just a fancy name for a clothes wringer. Patented in 1903. This is probably somewhere between 1900, 1903 and 1920 unit. And it's not that we're, worrying about the crap hitting the fan and we need to wring out our clothes. Melissa's going to use this for pottery, and other people have done it. These are super rare, and the deal that I got on this was unbelievable. It was, I had no idea what they were worth, and so I definitely did the drive and picked it up, but I'll show you kind of how it works. So back in the day, a lot of this was used for, like, commercially, for, whatever they would have been called, laundromats back then and everything, but because you could do like bed sheets and stuff in here, they would fold them and run them through. But you get the clothes and then they would put them in here, and then you turn it and it just spins through and wrings all the water out. And you can adjust the tension on it right here. Right now we have it as loose as it will go, because when you're doing clay, what's going to happen here is we'll have a thin, like an 1/8 inch thick, like a piece of that Luan plywood. And then however thick she wants the clay, and she said with the clay, I don't know anything about clay, but she does. First you beat it down because it comes into the blocks, and maybe I'll have to put it through, or she'll have to put it through here 3/4 of an inch thick first to get it down, and it'll get wider, and then have to go down smaller. And what you do is you put the board, and the board actually goes all the way through. Like you'll put it in here. Hold on one second. Like the board goes against here, but on top of that board, you'll put, like I said, like on each side of it, a strip of wood. And say that the first one is 5/8 of an inch, and she's trying to get down to 1/4 inch. So then you would just lessen it and lessen it, so she doesn't have to beat it down so far. And then when you do this, it just sucks that board through, but the board rides up on that little piece that you have on each side, and it's just flattening the middle, and it just goes right through. This thing barely, it was hard to turn at first, so I went ahead and did some, put some silicone, like almost like a 3-in-1 oil, but silicone in here, because it actually comes with the directions. I'll have to show that to you if I can find where she put it. And it told you how to oil it and everything. But I mean, this is all cast iron. This is heavy. This thing is very heavy. The two of us, it was me and another guy. It was hard to get it in my truck, and when Melissa and I got it out, it was hard to get it in here. But yeah, look at how smooth that works now. So nice. Where did my glove? Did it fall down on the floor? Yep. So anyway, that's what she wanted this for, and she loves antiques. So this is perfect. And if you were to buy a slab machine for doing clay, they're super expensive. So this was a nice looking way to do the same exact thing. So yeah, I never seen her get so excited about when this thing came for sale. The guy said that there was a guy in New York that was contacting him every couple of days, and he said, will you please ship it to me? He goes, I don't care what the cost is, I'll pay it. So that's how bad the people that want these want them. They're just hard to find. I mean, look at the size of the gears in that thing. If they were to make something like this right now, it would be a plastic spinner and there'd be plastic gears. It would last you about a year and it would break. And this is like a leaf spring on a car, so the more you tighten this, if you want to, it flattens that out, so you can get it so tight that you're just squeezing like every little bit of water out of the clothing. I mean, even the rollers are in good shape, which we had to look at because there's no way you're going to get to replace them. You're not going to find parts for this thing, but it's built so heavy duty, I don't think we're going to have to. All this is metal. It even has metal wheels. They only go one way, they don't spin, but what a piece of machinery. This would look good just sitting in the corner. I've looked these up online where people have restored them and they're just absolutely gorgeous. So that's Melissa's Christmas right there. She wanted the Hoosier cabinet. She really wanted this. And she really wanted that. So, yeah, she's pretty happy. And for me, Melissa bought me a brand new chainsaw. We tend to buy stuff that we need. Like she would need to have that clay roller, whatever it's called, slab roller, to be able to do some of her clay projects. So everybody agrees that I needed another chainsaw. So I did a lot of research and ended up going with a Steel 291. Horsepower wise, even weight wise, it's close to my 360. And which is nice, but I needed a new one. I did bring my that little 250 in to L&M, and they said it would be 2 weeks before I got it back. I brought it in yesterday. They called me today and said it's done. $53. They put a new spark plug in it, cleaned it up, greased it up, put new fuel in it, and it's like I just put a spark plug in it. This is the spark plug I put in there. They gave it back to me. Look at it. Never been fired. So apparently I bought a bad spark plug, which I've never done before. I've heard of it, but I don't know. So anyway, that one I did fire it up and cut a couple logs today. But this one here, I started this one up in here too, and this one feels nice and smooth. I think that's the first chainsaw I've ever had that has a warranty on it. And she bought it right up the road, so I can bring it right up the road if I have any trouble. 20-inch bar. I see how I like that. A lot of times I like the 16 or 18-inch, but the 20 is nice with that bigger logs. You get a little bit longer reach. I like it. I'm ready to cut wood, and the reason she gave me this early, first of all, she got all her stuff, got to see it, and we just got that load of wood. And there was no snow on the ground. I definitely want to get some of that wood cut up. With this chainsaw, I seriously looked at the Husqvarna 455 Rancher, I think it is, which is basically the same size as the Steel, I call it Steel, some people call it Still, 291. But then I did research on it and stuff, and then everything came out pretty close to the same. People were leaning a little bit more on this one, but then I have friends that are loggers that work with trees, that's their job. And they said, hands down, go with the Steel. It's just a better saw than the Husqvarna, so that's what we did. Good morning, everybody. Right now it's 16 degrees outside Fahrenheit, a high of 45 degrees, which is unheard of this time of year. But tomorrow we're forecast, on my phone anyway, to get 3 inches of snow. I don't think we've got more than an inch this year at one time, usually just a dusting to a ½ inch, so 3 inches isn't a big deal, but it'll be the biggest snowfall we've had this year. I just heard the weather report on the radio, and they're saying it's going to be more rain and then mixed with snow. But that forecast is for down in Duluth, and usually it's a little bit warmer by the lake, you know, before it gets frozen this time of year. Just bringing a few things in. One of the news stations says no snow, just rain tomorrow. And then the other news station says 1 to 3 inches here tomorrow. So I'm just picking a few things up. So that goes over with the ice fishing stuff now, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. I mean, it's only going to be maybe 1 to 3. If it's not going to be 12 inches of snow, I wish it just wouldn't snow. Let it, you know, I don't care if it's cold, but the snow, this has just been so nice not having to. You can still walk all over the place, you know, so we'll see what happens. It's going to be wet, though. Rainy, yucky day tomorrow. Some places are going to get upwards of 1 inch of rain. And they even showed, like, north. Well, it wouldn't be north of us, but more, I don't know, a little bit west, I suppose. Maybe even some thunder showers tomorrow. So It's the middle of December, for crying out loud. That's ridiculous. I got the tires back for this snowblower probably a month ago. They just put new rubber on it. They said they couldn't put a tube in it because the other ones had cracks and eventually they were going to fail and break through, and I just said whatever. I sometimes think they do. Every time I go in there to try to get tubes, it seems like they try to sell me new tires, and that's probably what they're supposed to do. I don't know, but she should be good now. Oh man. Kind of looks like these tires might be bigger. It looks like it's doing like the back is higher than the front. This is an old snowblower here. Had this one for 3 houses now. See if it should even fire up. I think we must have started it last year. At least the tank was totally dry. That's full and it looks like totally clean oil, so I must have changed it last year and just never used it because the tires was flat. Tires were flat. Tires was flat. The tires was flat. Okay, that's plugged in. Choked. Fast. Should be it, huh? Alright, I'm gonna do that to it. Well, that would certainly suck. Guess we can try it the old-fashioned way. Everything works except for I don't know, I can't get this thing to spin this my auger. Seems to me though that I have trouble with that every year, and it's something simple. Pull it down. I don't know. I mean, that doesn't even want to budge. That's cables, but I mean, this thing is always inside. And then forward and reverse, I can't get that to move either, and that's just a... That's a direct cable down here. I don't know. I'll have to play around with it and see. I'll probably have to get a hammer out here and tap on this to go back and forth for my forward and reverse. It's like it wants to move, but I'm not doing it tonight though. Got the four-wheeler in here so I can put the plow on it. Coming up here, and yeah, that only takes a minute. And I got to put the chains on the back tires though. That kind of sucks, but that helps so much. So I'll get that on the four-wheeler. Actually, we're supposed to get a little bit of snow tomorrow maybe, and then we're going to be in the like 30s, low 30s for the highs and teens for the lows. So it's not like we're going to get any bad weather coming. I was talking to Zachary when him and I were up at the tent, and he's going to be coming down here towards the end of the month. He said he doesn't have any engine projects to work on. And I told him, I said, well, this thing here, which ran perfectly fine, and then it just stopped. So I know it's just some junk in the carburetor because it sat in here for a while, and now I want the gas changed out. So he's going to pick this up, and what was the... Oh, I said I got a chainsaw he can look at too. I mean, I got the brand new one now, but still my MS360 doesn't like to idle. So yeah, he can play around with that. Oh, here's a couple more wrenches that can go, 3 of them that can go out in the workshop. Good morning, everybody. There's an antique rocking chair that Melissa really likes that came up on Marketplace. So last night I messaged the people, and then this morning she gets back to me and said, if you can be here by 7:20, it's yours. So it was like, get my truck running and get ready, and now it's a 26-minute drive, it said, from the house. So, and it rained overnight. Not a whole lot. There was a lot of rain in Duluth, Minnesota, but here we got about 6/10 of an inch only, and now it's clear, or not clear as far as rain goes, so it's a good time to go get it. I got the rocking chair picked up, and now it's starting to mist a little bit, but hopefully as I get up here and go south, I can get out of this. I'm not that far from home. I have a sleeping bag back there that I put stuff on, or I had it in my truck, and then I always use it when I'm hauling stuff. And I have it kind of wrapped around it. If it was 5 degrees colder, you'd be doing 30 miles an hour right now in 4-wheel drive. Well, there it is. It got a little bit damp on the way home, and not bad. I just put a fan on in here and turned up the heat, so I think it'll dry out. Maybe come out and take a better look at it later. That's 2:15 in the afternoon. It's been raining all day. It's my little rain thing in there. Last time I looked, which was about an hour ago, said a ½ inch exactly had fallen. And looking at this chimney, not one drop of water has come through, so I did a good job on that. Nothing is leaking. When I picked the rocking chair up this morning, Melissa wants it in this room. You got to have somewhere to sit. And The lady said it's a nice rocking chair. She goes, except for the upholstery. She didn't like the colors. And when we seen it yesterday, that's what we did like about it. It has I mean, it's definitely old and faded, but it has, you know, some different colors that you can, you know, can pull into just about anything. We'll see what Melissa thinks tonight when she gets home, but I think she's gonna love it. I turned up the heat back here. Turned it up in the front too, and I started the big wood stove. I finally got started putting the poly on the ceiling here. I got lucky on this end. There happens to be a 2x right there so I could staple all along. I just need one more piece now because I only have to go, I've already got that part done, so I got to go from there over to here, but they're 10 feet wide, so I'll run it all the way that far. And that'll help because there was, let's see, where was it? You can see right there the big gap, so the heat in here is just, you know, that's 2-inch foam and it's just shooting right up through the cracks, going right out through the rafters. I mean, I need insulation blowing up there, but this is going to help a lot for holding that heat in here. Melissa's going to be calling on her ride home really soon, so I got to get out of this room or it won't ring. And then I'll come out later tonight and hopefully get a little bit more of that done. Well, it's still raining out there. Melissa's home now. A few snowflakes mixed in, but now I don't think we're going to get hardly anything. It kept changing on my phone. You know, it went 3 inches, then 4 inches, then back to 2 inches, then up to 3 inches. And let's see what they're saying right now. 36 degrees, light rain, low of 33. On the TV they said 32. And I mean, you can see, let's see, let me get behind here. I mean, we're right here in this little green, so this is coming down. Yeah, we're right there, so you can see where it's snow above. Let's see which way it's moving. The snow area gets bigger, and it's almost on us. But it says now 100% chance of 2 inches of snow. And it's going to snow into tomorrow, so maybe it will. I don't know. But I mean, there's literally standing puddles of water, huge ones in the driveway. Luckily, it's going to be warm next week into the low 30s, because we had, that first year that Melissa moved here, we had something like this happen. And then it got cold, and then a ton of snow. So just walking from the house to the garage, it was like a skating rink. And I was surprised that Melissa even stayed. I mean, she doesn't like ice, she loves the cold, but that was a rough year there. She got, her doctrination or whatever into it was a tough one. I want to get this last piece put up of poly. In here I could put one too, because I'm getting some air leakage, but that'll have to come down, because I need to put an access in to get up there, like to blow all the insulation and everything. But I'm going to do that in this room, in front of the kiln room. This little hallway area is a good place for that. Look at that gap right there, about 3/4 of an inch, and the air can just go right up there every time that furnace is on. All that's places where heat can just get sucked right up. Okay everyone, well thanks a lot for watching. I'm going to end this one right now, because looking at my meter, I've got 3 hours and 20 minutes of coverage. That's going to give me, I don't know, I like to keep it under an hour if I can. Got everything polyed, which is nice. And you know what, I have the wood stove going in the front of course, but that furnace hasn't come on for a while. There were some pretty big gaps. And then I put a board right there, because when that furnace shoots that air up, it really, you know, that the plastic up there really moves, so I don't want it to slowly break its way loose before I get the metal roof or the metal ceiling. Over here I might do sheetrock, I'm not sure. Over here it'll definitely be metal. Yeah, I'm glad that's done. I wasn't looking forward to doing that, but now that it's up there, I know that the heat that's blowing in here isn't just freely going up into the rafters and out into the air. You can still hear the rain hitting that metal roof up there. And still not a drop of water coming through my chimney. Everything's dry. Melissa really liked the rocking chair. She was actually out here for about half hour or 45 minutes with the dogs earlier. And she was sitting in that chair for a while. Suppose I'll turn this down some. I'm not going to turn it down real far. I'll have it run at 55. It's not like it's going to get all that. I mean, it's going to get down to what, 32 or 33 tonight? And I'll just have it stop at 60. I turned it on just to see how that plastic is up there, and that's a lot better than it was. Good till tomorrow. Look at all these puddles. Look at this one. What a mess, huh? There's another one there. I don't know if you can see it if you look off toward the workshop. Over there it's all standing water. In December. We'll see you guys on the next video.